Hello and good afternoon. I am Beverly Thompson, and this is Anna and Amy. And on today's Hangout, we will be discussing different tools that could be very beneficial and helpful for teachers to use in the classroom. The tools that we'll be discussing are Paper, LI, eMaze, Book Wizard, and Raz Kids and Electronics. So the first tool that we'll be discussing is Paper LI. So I'll go ahead and do this screen share to show you. All right, so when you first come to the paper.li website, you'll see this page. Paper.li allows people to access a wide range of media. This can be articles or blogs. This tool will put together content based on what interests you, or you could search for articles yourself. This is a great way for teachers and students to share and publish work. So I'll show you how to search for a new thing. So if you click Let's Get Started. So you'll come to this, and it says, what news are you interested in? And when I first did it, I did education. And it also, another great feature, I think, is that it allows you to change the languages, which is great for if you have any ELL students in your classroom as well. So we'll go ahead and do that. So then it brings us to this. So you have all these articles that it shows. Some of them aren't exactly about education, but if you hit this and you say create a free paper, it takes a little while. It's like collecting all these papers for you, all these articles. So it'll bring you to this, and it's called the Education Daily. If you were interested in history, it would be like the History Daily. So it'll just have like this first like top article is graduate students in biomedical engineering present research. So it's just different things like that. And then also if you go back to the home page, it also shows another great feature where you can hit this blog button on the top right hand corner. And here are different blogs that people have wrote, just about a lot of things, different things that are happening in the world. You can submit an article or a blog that you want to be put up on paper.li. But then also if you hit the support button, it allows you to do a few other things. Which what stood out for me that could be really helpful in the classroom is the newsletter service. So it lets you send newsletters to different people. So if like you and your students had a paper.li account, you guys could send newsletters back and forth. You can send newsletters to your students if you wanted to do that. All right. So we'll go back here. And this is also, I just wanted to show you this. This is a link to the website. So if you wanted to see that, you can look at that. So some effects that I think that paper.li has on student learning is that it can develop students' multicultural awareness. This is through students will be able to view media content discussing a wide range of issues about people like themselves and about people unlike them. And then also it can develop the critical thinking skills. Paper.li has an abundance of articles that students can read and reflect on and really get those critical thinking skills developed. Information competency skills. So it gives students an opportunity to search for information in a different format, not just, look up in a textbook and you can see it there. It allows them to use different skills that they didn't think that they had. And then also I just highlighted this at the bottom. The feature of it being able to change different languages can be really helpful. in schools for ELL students, because there's so many different students from different backgrounds coming to our schools. So, and then also I thought about how in like past experiences in classrooms, this could have been helpful if this teacher had known about it. So I was placed in a 7th grade class last year, and in this class, students had weekly homework to find a news article and then write a reflection on it. Each week, they had a different theme, such as politics, world affairs, and education, and the teacher would provide students with sources to find the articles, or she would let them kind of have free reign with it and find articles themselves. So paper.li would have been perfect tool for this mentor, because she could have used it to share some recommended articles for the students through those newsletters, or she could have had them create their own account and then looked up the theme that they were interested in and found articles to write on there. And then that was a link to my newspaper about education. And then also some obstacles that you may face with paper.li is that teachers may find that they cannot always be sure that their students will find articles that are as useful or appropriate as others. Like I was saying, when I was looking for articles about education, not every single one of them was like strictly about education. So I feel like students could probably not find the right articles that they're really looking for, that they're supposed to look for. And then also, paper.li is free, but also users can pay for an upgrade, which is like the paper.li Pro. And if users upgrade, then they'll receive more sources and uses. And of course, those more sources would be very beneficial for them to have. All right, and then that was it for paper.li. So the next tool that we will be discussing is eMaze. So eMaze is a new presentation method. It's easy to use, can be used on any device, and allows for 2D and 3D designs. Both teachers and students can use this. So here's the front page, like the home page of the website. And if you scroll down to learn more, it actually gives you some examples that have been made. So I'm going to click on one, and then hopefully it will come up. So you can see like the different, like it floats to them. The graphics on there are really nice also. It's a great way a new way to teach students using something other than, just writing it up on the board. So that's just a little preview for that. And then also I'll take you to my page on eMaze, and I'll show you a few features on that. So here's your page, what it would look like when you log on, and you can create new eMazes there. And then you can also share the eMazes that you made, and you can also explore other eMazes that other people using this tool have done. So there's just a few there. And then it also gives you like ideas in different subject areas as well. All right. So eMaze has an effect on students' learning because it helps students develop communication skills. With eMaze, students will create presentations and then do an oral presentation in front of the class, in front of their classmates. So if a teacher gave their students like a book report to do, they could create an eMaze and then have to use those communication skills to stand in front of their class and do a presentation with it. And then it also helps develop intellectual flexibility. Many students are used to using PowerPoint. I know that most of us are. So if teachers have their students use this new method of presentation, they will develop the ability to adapt to new things and have the intellectual flexibility. And then also, eMaze also has a feature of language translation. So teachers could use eMaze as a presentation method for their own students, not just having the students do it themselves. So the teacher has that option that if she does or he does have an ELL student in their classroom, they can use this feature to translate into a different language so they can present to other students as well. So the classroom experience that I had that eMaze would have been really beneficial is that when I was placed in a fifth grade class my freshman year of college, they had to do a book report based on a book they read. Each student had an opportunity to choose from a list provided by the teacher on how they wanted to present their report. Many of them chose like PowerPoints and stuff like that, but eMaze would have been a great tool for students to use to present their book report because it contains so many different effects like the 2D and the 3D that would be very useful in presenting for students. And then an obstacle that you may face with it is that a teacher may face with eMaze is that there is a section on the website that allows a user to explore. I showed you that in the website. So this could be a problem because some students may use another eMaze user's work. So we could have some like copyright issues there. So all right, so that's it for eMaze. And then I also just wanted to show you my reference page where I got some information from. And all the websites are listed there as well. So, all right.
All right, so let me go ahead and pull up my screen share, and I will be doing electronics. So screen share. All right, so this is the website. That's not the website. So this is the Prezi that I have, and it's called electronics. And let me go ahead and copy and paste that for you guys. And while we're waiting for the website to load, I will go ahead and tell you a few things about what electronics is. Electronics is a website that's focused on the education of science and electricity. And this website focuses on trying to get the program and get the options out there for teachers and students to really explore how to create their own circuits. So now that the website is up, here it is. And there's a nice little welcome video to introduce you to the world of drawing your own circuit. And there's different shopping areas to help you pick out which circuit that you want. And it talks about the kits, it talks about specific modules, and it even gives easy designs to help stimulate students' thinking and their cognitive ability about this type of subject. And there's shops, there's products, and there's even an education page, which is what my main focus was on. And there are workbooks for students to download, and that would be free. And it talks about different types of circuits that students can look through. There's even pictures, and there's open source hardware, and there's videos to kind of give a little push and a welcome to the idea of the science of electricity. All right. Now, how can we use electronics? Electronics is not a very classic educational website like how you saw with eMaze or with the research website that Beverly showed you. It's more so providing the resources, and it gives lesson plans that teachers can use. It gives outreach programs, and it allows teachers to give their students a chance to explore options when it comes to the science of electricity and understanding how we how we get light bulbs to work and how we get electricity in our house. Now, there are different ways to use electronics in the classroom. Since it is more so a website based on trying to get the resources to students, it's kind of harder to bring it into the classroom. However, teachers can use this website in a variety of ways. Excuse me. They can use this website to introduce the science of electricity in the classroom. And by letting the students explore the website at their own pace, they can build a level of excitement and understanding that they wouldn't be able to get if it was just the one-on-one and teachers telling them what to really look for. Teachers need to consider that this sort of activity is meant for older students. Students in pre-K, kindergarten, or first grade, or even second grade might have a harder time understanding how to use it, since it is using hot metal and it is using higher level science thinking skills. But there are unique ways to incorporate it, and the teachers have to work around it, and perhaps it's mostly just used to help students spark their interest about the uses of electricity. For the second part of critical thinking, I never experienced something like this before in my classroom, and I never came across a tool like this as well. Since I've been mostly with young elementary school students, I never really had to work with circuits or the science of electricity. However, you can easily include this into a lesson plan, and it can be incorporated to introduce a unit or to even spark a student's interest. And here's the website once more. And the drawing pen that I was talking about is on the home page. If it'll load. There we go. And it's this pen right here. It's really easy, simple to use. And there's videos all throughout the website. There's even a blog and a contact list that students and teachers can click and they can learn more information about. And that is the tool that I researched.
Okay, so hi everyone, I'm Anna, and today I will be talking about BookWizard and Raz Kids. So, BookWizard is a search engine powered by Scholastic to find the independent reading level of a text. It is used to find books based on level or to level particular books from your classroom library. You have the ability to narrow your search through filters such as grade level or theme and subject. Once you have selected a book, BookWizard provides you with a summary of the text, info about the author and illustrator, genre, theme and subject, reading level, and interest level. With certain texts, additional teaching resources are available and comprehension quizzes. This is a great tool for teachers to use when organizing their classroom library, looking for new resources for students on a particular level, or if they're just confused as to what level a book they have in their library would be appropriate. So for my personal classroom experience with BookWizard, I had a kindergarten field placement during my senior year of high school, actually, and the students were very spread out with their guided reading levels. Some students came into kindergarten with already developed reading skills, and others had very little to no experience with literacy. BookWizard makes it easy for a teacher to determine the guided reading level of a book, just to make sure it's appropriate for students. If you need to build your classroom library to accommodate your students' needs, searching by level provides you with a vast selection of books to choose from. Scholastic's Teacher Store also sells the books from your search at a teacher discount. It is extremely helpful, again, in organizing your student library to make selecting books for independent reading more accessible for students. So when they go to select a book, you can have them organized by bins, and if they know their reading level, they'll know exactly where to go. Obstacles. Teachers often feel discouraged by the process of navigating new tools, and the number of results search engines come up with can be overwhelming. So, I'm next going to guide you through a quick tutorial on how to use BookWizard and to sort through those search results. So let's go to the website. So if you have a particular book that you want to find out the reading level for, you just go to the home page here, say on search for all books, and then select guided reading, and then you will enter the title, author, or keyword. So for my example, I'm going to use a book titled I Ain't Gonna Paint No More. You click Find Books, and then double check that is the book you were searching for and select it. And then you will see here there is a quick summary, info on the author and illustrator, the interest level, the reading level. So for this one, the guided reading level is for L, tells you the genre and the theme and subject. This particular example doesn't have any teacher resources or a quiz, but if so, they will be found right here beneath the info about the author and illustrator. And then as I was saying, you can access Scholastic's teacher store and buy the book through them at a teacher discount, which is always helpful. Or if you're just searching for books based on the reading level, nothing really particular in mind, you would go to, again, the home page and then select search by reading level. Then keep it on guided reading and say you want to search for A-level books. You would just select A to just keep it specifically to A level and then hit find. And you'll see it came up with 149 items. Now that might be overwhelming to certain teachers. So you can further filter your search by sorting through theme/subject or series and interest level. So if I want to stick with grades 1 through 2, I would select that option. Or we'll go back to all grades and say I want to see pre-K through K. And once I'm on pre-K through K, I might want to find a book on character and values, and that takes the 140 options down to 6, which makes this process much more convenient for teachers. It's not so overwhelming. You're not sorting through 300 some books. You can simply search the 6 that you know are suitable for A-level readers, grade pre-K through K, and 6 to your theme. So again, we can look at a book. Check out the summary, the author and the illustrator, interest level, reading level, genre, and theme/subject. This one again doesn't have resources, but oftentimes they do. You just have to sort through them, but it's not guaranteed. So for my next tool, I did Raz Kids, which is an awesome K-5 online. Allows students access to a virtual library of over 400 interactive ebooks, offered at 29 different reading levels. You are guaranteed to find something to meet the needs of your students. Students can listen to books, read books for practice, and record themselves for their teacher to then check for fluency, or just to play it back for themselves personally, just hear how they're reading and really get that extra practice. Enables teachers to digitally assess students through online running records for fluency and e-quizzes for comprehension. Nursery rhymes, songbooks, and poetry books are also available, so it's not just your typical nonfiction and fiction story selection. You have a little bit more of a variety, make it fun for your students and break up the daily routine. Rad's Kids also has their own mobile app to make learning accessible anytime, anywhere. Students can access it at home. It is oftentimes incorporated in summer reading programs, really provides flexibility, and everything the student does is sent to the teacher. Like I said, for assessment with online running records and e-quizzes. All of that directly goes to the teacher and they can grade it from home as well. Parents also have access to their child's Raz Kids account to track their progress. This helps the parents feel more involved in the classroom and lets them know exactly where their child is at. Really takes communication to a new level through this technology tool. So classroom experience with Raz Kids. I had a third grade field placement last year, and one thing I noticed was the students love to use the smartboard. Anytime the teacher asked for volunteers to come up to the smartboard, hands went flying. They love to explore new technology. There were 2 iPads in the classroom, and every kid couldn't wait to get their hands on it. It's the digital age kids are growing up in now, and we need to embrace that as teachers. And this is possible through tools like Raz Kids. With Raz Kids, all ebooks are available in printable and projectable formats. So the students can have a copy in their hand, and then also you can put the story the students are working on up on the smartboard. All formats include tools needed to provide an engaging experience that encourages students to interact with the text. A lot of times you hand a book to a kid and you tell them to make sure they're using their strategies and to really highlight and ask questions and connect, but sometimes they're just not all that interested. But students will be motivated because this is an opportunity for them to manipulate technology. There's tools at the top of the screen as children read, and these include drawing, highlighting, and stamping tools to practice critical reading strategies. Students can highlight details, unknown vocab, highlight other details to cite evidence. They could stamp a question mark on a detail that sparks question. They could put a star on the main character to remember for later. There are many things that students can use with these tools, and they will enjoy manipulating them and figuring out how to really use this e-reader. Each student also has their own digital notes section and e-journal. The notes section is used for students to jot down in their own words quick summaries, questions, or main ideas. The e-journal is to record new words and for reflections. Raz Rocket, which I will show you guys when we move to the website, also serves as an incentive for students to achieve personal goals on Raz Kids, which kids love. So obstacles with Raz Kids. The technology required to effectively use the tool may present a problem for certain schools. Simply, not all classrooms have smartboards or enough devices for all students to access Raz Kids on for independent reading. It's a lot of money. It's a money issue, the technology issue. There isn't going to be a Kindle or an iPad necessarily for every student in the classroom, and teachers must consider this. Also, a big part of it is the at-home aspect. Individual students may not have reliable internet access, computer, or mobile device at home to utilize Raz Kids from home, and for their parents as well. We must consider that. Teachers must take these factors into consideration before implementing Raz Kids in their reading instruction. So now I'm going to show you guys the Raz Kids website. So at the top, it's really cool. You can see the books that have been read through Raz Kids and how many users. Kids are working at home right now as we do this Hangout. So for our example, I'm going to go down to resources and select leveled books. And you can see all the levels here. So let's do level L for our example and a fiction book. So again, awesome option to help filter your search and really narrow it down. So I could choose Every Dog Has Its Day. Tells you the genre, how many words, the level, reading level and grade level, and a quick summary. You can see here you can listen to the ebook, read the ebook, and there's printable and projectable book at readingatozee.com with the link right there. Lesson resources comes with a comprehension quiz and worksheets for teachers to utilize. Awesome for teachers, helps save you time. And pre-made vocabulary lessons are also found at vocabularyatozee.com. And I did want to show you guys a really cool feature. Raz Rocket really motivates students and gets them into using the program. It's based on a star system, and kids earn stars for completing different activities and receiving different scores. And Raz Rocket is students create room inside their Raz Rocket with aliens, furniture, equipment, plants, robots, and other items they may want in their space-themed environment. So the more stars students earn, the more they have to use to buy things for their rocket and to build their personal robot. It's really fun for kids. And there's also printable awards and certificates that you can use from Raz Kids as students move up in their reading and succeed in literacy. So that is my Prezi on Book Wizard and Raz Kids. Both links to Book Wizard and Raz Kids will be available on my professional development website, as well as all of my references. And those are my two tools.
All right, so now we're gonna have a discussion about all of our tools. We're gonna ask each other questions that we thought of when we were listening to each other's presentations. So I guess we'll start off. Does either of you have any questions about paper.li or emaze?
I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit more about the cultural understanding aspect of Paper LI. Like, how would students use that tool to communicate with somebody from a different area in the world?
So I mostly, like, they wouldn't communicate with someone from, like, directly, but it could be articles about another place in the world, about people that are dealing with different issues from the other side of the world, like in different countries. So people just have culturally different backgrounds than the students. So it just kind of gets them like socially aware of like that there are other issues going around, because like many teachers might have like students do these look up these articles because they want them to become more aware and to learn about different cultures and like what's going on around the world. So
okay.
And I have a question for emaze. I was wondering, is it easy for younger kids to understand how to use the program, or is it more so geared towards adults?
I think that it would probably be more geared to older students. I kind of truthfully had a little trouble understanding it, but I also have it like ingrained in my mind how to use PowerPoint. So I believe that if I like used it a little bit more and got used to it, I would be able to figure it out and use it and have no issues. So if we had kids like starting to use this, they could probably figure it out pretty easy. It definitely is. It's very similar to PowerPoint. It just has a little bit different features than that. So.
All right. And do either of you guys have a question about electronics?
I was just wondering, like, did you see any examples, like how a teacher like might have done a lesson based on that website, and what grade level like would you start using, do you think?
There aren't really too many lesson plans on the actual website itself. It's more so guidelines and workbooks that a teacher can purchase, or they can download an example as a PDF file. And for the youngest grade, I would say that this could start at 3rd grade, just because there is hot metal involved, and 1st and 2nd graders might have a hard time understanding the science behind using circuits and the science behind electricity.
Right.
All right, then I also had a question. I know that like I discussed like what type of like learning and skills kids can develop from these two websites. What could it like? What kind of skills could they learn, like critical thinking skills and stuff like that?
Students, they can gain different sorts of critical thinking again, this website is more so geared towards purchasing a pen to draw circuits on, but as students delve deeper into the website and start to get a better understanding of what could be purchased and what they could achieve, then they start to understand how the scientific method works, how maybe an electrician can work, and they start to think about real world situations where they can actually use this website and use the skills that they learn from purchasing the workbooks or from purchasing the actual pen itself.
So it probably helps with a lot of problem solving skills also.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Okay, do either of you guys have questions on either one of my tools?
Yes, for the, oh, go ahead, Beverly.
Okay. Now, do you think that you'll use Book Wizard in your future classroom, and why or how do you think that you would use it in your classroom?
Absolutely, yes. I actually discovered this website prior to this class from my reading literacy class for K through 3, and I just think it's an awesome tool. It's really simple and just helps you, if you have a book but you're not sure if it's appropriate for your students or especially for specific guided reading small group lesson, really breaks that down and you know exactly if it's appropriate or not. And if you're stuck on, if you have one student who's at a really advanced level or maybe say further behind than the other students and you don't have as many books in your library, Scholastic does an awesome job at providing you with just a whole list of books to sort through and figure out what you can order for that child.
And for RAS kids, I was wondering, is it accessible? Is there whole group lessons that the teacher can do with the student in the classroom? Say if they have a smart board or if they have a computer and a projector and the students can interact with the teacher while they're doing the RAS kid lesson, or is it strictly for individual children to do on their own?
You can do whole group. You can put it up, any book that you choose, you can put up on the smart board, and it has the same tools that the student would have individually, that you can have students come up or you can use the tools yourself. And most of the ebooks also come with lesson plans and additional worksheets and other things that you can incorporate into whole group. So it can be individual or whole group. But people like the individual for the at home, the mobile, but you can do it either way.
Nice. All right.
I also have one other question about RAS kids.
Okay.
You said that sometimes it might not be accessible to some teachers because they might not have a smart board. Is there an option that if the teacher is willing to pay, could they print the book out, or is that not an option?
You can print the book for free. I just meant to get the full effect of some of the virtual tools, it would be difficult, but you can print the books. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for our Hangout describing the tools, paper.li, eMaze, Book Wizard, RAS Kids, and electronics. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot, and you can use these tools in your future classrooms. Bye.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.